Welcome back, guys, to yet another World of Warcraft video. Today we are actually going over a little bit of some Mage Tower time, because if you guys have not seen, the Mage Tower is actually going to be permanently staying in the game. So this is not going to be a part of the time walking rotation anymore. It's actually just going to stay in the game, and this is happening on March 29th and March 30th for EU. So what this video is about, because we already posted about the fact that it's going to be permanent, this video is going to be me going over a specific post on Wowhead that can help you guys get prepared for the gold making aspects. Now, obviously, this is probably only a week away by the time that you see this video, and what that means is that we have a situation where you might already be too late when it comes to this specifically. But I still want to let you guys know that there are a lot of different things that you can do and also craft and get, and you might still want to be able to actually go into this if you at all could be interested. So this post on Wowhead is about Mage Tower time walking. It's a gearing guide to the best gearing strategies, gear sources. So the reason that I want to show you guys this is because on this post, it literally goes over everything that people could be interested in buying for this specific thing, right? So if you go through this, you can see what people are interested in buying and what you could expect people to buy, which means that you can figure out what you should sell on your servers. Especially, obviously, it heavily depends on your server, how many people actually might be interested in something like this, but you should still look at it just to make sure that, you can find out what's going on. So currently, the best chromie time items for Mage Tower time walking is going to be all of this. So you can see, just looking over this, there's going to be TBC Dungeon Helmet with 1 socket, Meta socket, TBC Dungeon Shoulders with 2 sockets, any Legion Glow with 1 random socket, TBC. So there's a lot of TBC pieces of gear with lots of sockets. So we already know right now that things in TBC, in Legion, and then also in BFA are things that are going to be good for the Mage Tower. So those are the expansion that you're going to be looking at as a main thing. So as you scroll further down here, you can see for best crafted items, you can see that a crafted dreadful pieces of gear is very, very good. And you can also see Legion random cloak, Legion random wrist with random socket procs. Something like this is something you can look at on the auction house. You could look up the specific item levels for these, and then you could look for socket drops on the auction house. If there are any, you could buy them up and potentially flip them for a good amount of gold. Now, when it comes for the actual crafted dreadful, these are made for specific levels that people are wearing them at, so they have the best scalability. So obviously, one of the options that you could do is you can craft something like the crafted dreadful gear. Now obviously, crafting this gear is something that takes quite a long time. Getting all these different recipes is a lot. So if you guys cannot craft this, you should be looking at what they actually take to be able to craft them. So you'd be looking at the materials themselves, right? So if we open up the leather, we open up the plate, we open up the cloth, and we open up the mail. So when we're looking at these things individually, you can see that, where do we see it? Right here, Magnificent Hide, and then an optional reagent slot. So you can see right here that it requires Magnificent Hide. Now how do you get Magnificent Hide, you may ask? Well, it is something that you have to use in Pandaria leatherworking, okay? And you can see that you can either use prismatic scales, because this is obviously there's some different one. If you want to make Magnificent Hide, which is the one that we need, you want to use exotic leather. So that means exotic leather is going to go up in demand for when time walking comes out. So you guys would be looking at exotic leather, buying up potentially cheap ones, and having a really good opportunity to be able to flip this when the Mage Tower actually comes out. And the same thing goes for this. If we look at this specifically, you can see that we need ghost iron bars. Well, ghost iron bars is just ghost iron, so that's very, very easy to get. It's something that, is not going to be hard to find at all. You can see that it is very, very easy to get that. So that's on the easier side. Now, if we go for the cloth version, you're going to be able to see that we have a bolt of windwool cloth, but it's actually because it's required to make Imperial Silk, which you can see is windwool cloth. So obviously there's ghost iron ore, there's exotic leather, and there's windwool cloth. Those are 3 very good ones. And when it comes to the male one, it is also magnificent hide. Now besides that, there's obviously all the other crafted dreadful pieces of gear, but that is the overall sentiment. So exotic leather, windwool cloth, and ghost iron ore are things that people will be using a lot of when this comes out. Now when it comes to the actual Legion pieces, that's something you would have to look up on the auction house. So obviously you can say Legion, what's a Legion random item with a socket? Well, okay, it is item level 50 and the levels are between 40 and 45. So if we wanted to look at something like that on the auction house, we open up the auction house, we go into filter, we say 40 to 45, and let's search it up under armor. So then we can see, okay, well there's a bunch of different things here, and we want to look for specifically the ones that level 40 to 45s can wear. And then we specifically, what did we want to look at? We wanted to look at cloaks and wrists, okay? So we go under cloaks specifically first, and then we can say, okay, do we have any prismatic sockets anywhere? That is what we would be looking at. We'd be looking specifically for Legion pieces of gear. So obviously not all of this is going to be Legion, but you'd be looking for something that comes from Legion, and then you'd be looking for a socket. Now this is usually something that you'd in an easier way you'd be able to find it on better items. Either it would be random drops that you would have to find, or it would have to be actually just knowing where to find specific ones. But that is one way that you could go about it. And obviously you can search up the different things. So you can see all the different cloaks that have it. And then you can search up these different ones. And you can see most of these are obviously going to be epic ones. So let's see. There's Dreadwake. Some of this is actually also class order hall gear. But if we're looking for specifically the ones that we can get as zone drops, Evergreen, we'll search that up. Evergreen, there's no evergreen on here. So you would have to go through this one by one and see if you could find some of these. And it's probably a good idea to start at the top. You can see none of these would be good. A zone drop here. Despoiled Dream Thread. Despoiled. Okay, there's nothing there either. So this is how you would have to go through it. But this is only one of the things, so you could look through this yourself individually. And then if we go through it here, you can also see that these are some of the explanations as how to get these if you're wanting to craft it yourself. Now, besides that, we also have all the way down here. Where was it? Where was it? Where were the gems? Did I just pass the gems? I think I did. There's supposed to be a specific one that goes over the gems. I guess I passed it. Was it further up? Oh yeah, here. Mage Tower Enchant Gems and Consumables Guide. Right here. So here you can see both on the enchants and also the gems. So these are obviously a lot of the enchants. And I can tell you guys specifically that these enchants, Mark of the Hidden Satyr, Claw, Trained Soldier, all these did really well the last time Mage Tower was out. And you can look at all the other ones as well. And obviously you can look at the materials for these specific enchants if you do not have them. And you can buy those out in that way. And then if we go down here, best meta gems for Mage Tower Time Walking. Again, the same thing. You can buy the uncut versions of these or the actual cut versions of these and hope to see an increase. Now, obviously, never invest more than you're willing to lose. That is very important when it comes to something like this. But I basically just wanted to showcase this for you guys, okay? You can look at it. You can search up on the Under My Journal how they did the last time in December when it came out. And you can also see if you want to farm any of these or maybe buy some of these, craft some of these. If you're interested at all in any of it, I will be linking to it down in the description below and also in the comments below. But I appreciate you guys for watching this video. That's basically all that I had. I could go on forever and ever and ever about this, but I basically just wanted to show you guys the the premise and the idea of how to get into researching what the Mage Tower is about. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and until the next one, see you guys.